Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Spiritual Ranch. I'm not nothing away. Dr. Oracle. Welcome to our channel and welcome to the other side of the mountain. It's sunny over here though. I'm trying to block that so it doesn't hit me in the whatever, you know. But anyhow, I hope everybody's doing excellent. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope everybody's been ascending comfortably, you know, because it's been a wild ride, you know what I'm saying? And so I did a read here earlier, and it was a great read. I'm experimenting with my different formats that I want to follow in order to maybe come up with some different kind of messages, or like a different resonance in the messages, you know, or like a different format where how spirit could like deliver the messages, you know, so it's not I don't know, as random. I'll still do my random messages because that's the way it is. That's the way I like it. You know, that's how spirit likes it, right? But as far as like now, okay, so it's like earlier I did like because like I've been trying. I was like our spirit team, or like their spirit team. Our spirit team could ask their spirit team what our spirit team needs to know, and so it's kind of like going behind the scenes a little bit, yeah. Saying like, okay, so whoever person you're thinking about, we're gonna go ahead and ask their spirit team what they want us to know, right? And so that was a good read. It was a nice message. That read, that message, that style is gonna come out a little bit softer, you know, and a little bit more not a love read, but it's just gonna be more of an intimate read because it's like I introduced in that read, you know, the format. Kind of I explain it there too, so you guys listen to that read and then you understand what I'm talking about. But what I'm gonna do now is I want to do a us, or like us versus them kind of, like us and them kind of read, okay? And so us and them kind of read is gonna be more like a read on the energies that we have right now that are blocking our ability to heal, you know. So it's like the energies that are blocking us on our healing path, and or on the healing path of like the others that are also sharing our journey with us, you know what I'm saying, right? And so I've been, like I said, I've been experimenting with this stuff, trying to come up with a format that I could read in like this, you know. So whatever like this ends up being. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's how we get the messages out there. These messages, I think like an us versus them message is going to carry a lot more. Of course, it's going to be a collective message. And so it's going to be a lot of the energies that we have that are giving us the grief. And it's going to have a lot of truth in it. So no matter what the message is, it's going to have a lot of truth and clarity, okay? That's good, and so that's what we're seeking. And so this is a message that if you resonate with this message, that's because there's some answers or questions that you would like to have answers to, and or you're noticing that there's things happening around you that are causing you a lot of discomfort, or a lot of reasons to question things right now too. That's the energies that we really read on this channel. We try to go deep into the fact that like there is a complete psyop against us emotionally, you know, and it's not just emotionally, it's physically, it's spiritually, it's in all aspects. And that's why we struggle in all of our departments of life of maintaining a powerful passion for life, right? That's grounded, that has a powerful understanding and good intellect, and is emotionally fulfilling, okay? And that's what we're here to stand up and defend, is the motherfucking truth. And so here we go. I'm Shesh, not noting away. That's she who whispers loudly, they sharpen tongue. I'm the OGO, you guys. That's the Off-Grid Oracle. So it's a beautiful day out here in Northern California today. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are too. And I hope that you're progressing well on your healing journey, and that that you're having a lot of success in that, because it's been a very powerful year, you know. I have been saying difficult, but now that I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I can say it's powerful now, and I know for reals that that's actually what it is, you know, and I'm thankful to God very much, you know, for that truth that they've allowed me to obtain on myself, you know. And so they've really gone inside and they showed me myself in a mirror. That's really helped me be a carrier of the truth now. And if you're here resonating with this message, that's something that you most likely resonate with yourself, because you're a truth seeker and you're a truth speaker. And so keep that going, powerful one, you know. Thank you for joining us. And so we're going to ask Spirit what we need to know in a situation involving us versus them, right? And so we want to know what kind of shenanigans their spirit team is up to, right? Because right now, if we're asking about us versus them, we got to get our spirit team to have their informants go in right now, because now we need informants to go in, because we're not going into or trying to rescue in a peaceful territory right now, because this is an empire that's a dark empire that stands against our empires of light, because we're children of light. And so within our biome and our kingdom that lies within, we are a very bright and very heaven-like kingdom, empires built in the image of Father God Most High. And that's why we have to protect them very fiercely and take action to do so, okay? And so that's what our spirit team, right? Because we have our minions out here on these spiritual streets, right? And they're out here trying to find the truth for us, okay? And so right now the truth is there's action being taken, okay? So be aware that this is an us versus them reading, okay? And so that means that either we or them are going to take action. The action is going to be swift, okay? And so be aware right now and pay attention to the truth, and make sure that if you yourself are taking action, if you're a heavenly kingdom and built in the image of the Father God Most High, as I am that I am, then you need to stand in the truth always, or else your kingdom will fall. We're spiritual leaders, and that makes us emperors and empresses of the truth, okay? And so it's time to take action, and we're not afraid to take action. It's time to take rapid action and stand up and defend that which makes your kingdom most powerful right now, okay? And so we have to defend our truth right now, very much so, because the action that's being taken against us, that's going to bring clarity to the fact as to why you're an earth angel, child. Straight up, the temperance card, okay? And so they're also asking us, when we lead with truth, we also lead with integrity, you know, and we lead with compassion, because we have a lot of self-worth in the truth. You know, when we know the truth and we speak the truth, we always have self-worth, and we can take and transmute any kind of bullshit into a higher knowledge, into a higher understanding, okay? And so that's why you're a carrier of the truth and an earth angel, because your truth will carry others, all right? You transcend the bullshit. That's what they say. You can transcend the bullshit. And so that's the action that we're taking right now, is that we're transcending the bullshit, and we're going to block any kind of confusion or any kind of resistance right now. Resistance to the truth is going to be blocked. We're not going to allow it within our kingdom. We're not going to allow it within our empire, because we know that the truth is the cancer that eats away at the safety and the foundation of an empire, you know. And if the empire is not built off of truth, then it will never be able to stand on its own against the other empires that might try to invade it. And that's what's telling me right now with this card, is that, see, that's the 7 of wands, and so there's 6 wands that are coming up against this motherfucker right here, right? But we don't have to worry about that shit. So they might take action against us, right? But there's 8 of us that can stand together in these wands if we all take action wisely. That outnumbers their 6, you know? And so when we let our spirit team fight with us, because that's who's telling us to take action right now, they're the ones who are fully aware of what's going on around us. When we listen to them, we can outnumber their wands by 2. Actually, we can outnumber their wands by 3, because that puts 1 in our hands. We got 8 there with our spirit team, right? And so, and then, well, against their 6, that outnumbers them by 3, right? And so that puts us in charge, though. And so we got to see this. We got to understand what it is that we're fighting for, too. Because if you look right here, this individual, and I've never noticed this before in this card. It's kind of interesting, you know. But if you look, they're standing on top. The mountain is tiny beneath their feet. This is a giant. So I've never noticed that was a giant in this card. But you see how small the river is? See the little river right here? And these are the mountains that they're standing over the top of and defending. And then these are the 6 wands that are coming up against them right now. You know what I'm saying? And so you're a giant. You know, you're a spiritual force right now. Your empire is massive, and you have a massive empire to defend, okay? Mountainous empire, looks like it to me, Empress. Emperor, whatever. Just saying? We got the Ace of Pentacles right here on the bottom of the deck, okay? And so the action that they're asking us to take right now in defending our truth and our integrity is going to give us the stability that we need. This is what we've been talking about right now. To take the action. See, they're not saying what the action's for or what it's against. I think we already know because of the past energy in these reads that we've been listening to. Of course, to be an Earth Angel, we got to have our foot in the water, and we got to also have a foot on the land here. And so we're going to be gatekeepers in a lot of ways, and we have to know how to transmute energies. And again, the crown here is above the mountain, see? And so, yeah, we have to have a full understanding of that stable emotions is what that is. That's taking action towards stabilizing emotions, because emotions right now are, I'm going to say wishy-washy with that cup in this sense. It's like wishy-washy, you know, and we need to have more stability of being able to walk on water, you know. That's what it is, you guys. Because it's like the earth, you know, is always going to be solid underneath our feet. We're Earth Angels. And what we have to really learn how to manage most appropriately is our emotions, because it's cups here that we're trying to transmute is the emotions, right? And so what's thrown us off kilter on land has been our inability to, it's like we've always had sea legs a little bit, you know? And so we didn't have mastery over the element of water. Once we master that element of water, we become stable on both surfaces, both land or liquid. It doesn't matter, you know. And of course, waters are in motion, and of course, land or earth is stability. It's like coin. It's like material. Okay, and so it's like the water is that place, and the ethers that is attached to intense feelings that take place in the physical. Okay, and so it's like the way we feel when we have an emotion. So it's like it's very important to be able to attach your feelings to your emotions, because the way we feel, I'm getting ready to feel fire come right up my back here. I don't know if these leaves are going to catch on fire. Will happen. That's what I thought about my saw too. But we got to be able to attach because it's like the feelings we have, that's the water, or that's the feelings that we have are the physical. That's the pinnacle, right? So the feelings are like the physical. That's the earth, right? Because that's what occurs. That's a chemical reaction, a chemical response inside of your body is a feeling. It's like your fingertips. You feel with your fingertips, right? But an emotion is the way that you would describe that feeling, you know? And so that's what's so important, that we have to, in order to walk on water and make water stable, you have to really truly understand what that means. You know, you have to be able to attach certain feelings to the right emotions, and the right emotions to certain feelings, or vice versa, right? Because it's easy to get mixed up in this world about how we feel, what we do, and why. And so that's what this card right here is talking about heavily, and that's the action that we need to really take action towards, is transmuting those energies into our higher understanding, you know, and that's how we walk on water. And so that's how you are able to, and you also have land. You can nurture your physical emotionally. So it's like you could pour your water on your land, and it's going to give forth abundant crops, you know. But you could also have that same stability when you walk on water. So if the emotions get deep, you know, if shit gets really heavy, and all you're doing is like you know, you're still grounded in that. You're not going to drown. You're not going to sink and drown. You know what I mean? And so that's good. And it's the same says like if you're too dry with emotion, you know, because that's like if you're not walking on water, well, if you have no water, right, then your land's not going to grow. Nothing's going to grow. You can't have anything at all, you know. And so it's very important. Very important. But you know this already, or else you would be coming out as an Earth Angel with the Temperance card, okay? And so, and that's that Ace of Pentacles right there. That Ace of Pentacles is God telling you now, child, don't worry about it. You can walk on water. I already paid your passage, bought you a ticket, you know? Just remember it, because that's what happened in the Bible. is that when Jesus was standing on the water, they say, because he went out there, like I always say, he got morning, went out to take a piss, and everybody else got up and they went out and they're like, whoa, what the hell, man? Because he's like standing on the water and everything. And one of them was like going to run out there and grab him, and he's like halfway, he's walking on water, he'd be about halfway or whatever. And then he realized that he was walking on water and he sank, and because he forgot, he didn't think that, he forgot, right? He forgot that he could do that. He forgot he had that. He realized that he was doing something that he thought he couldn't do. And then he denied himself permission. He denied himself access to that Ace of Pentacles, and he sank, And so Jesus understood to always trust yourself. When you trust yourself, you trust God. And when you trust God, as you trust yourself, right, and vice versa, anything's possible. That's when you move mountains. That's when you literally are big enough to fight off all the evil in the world. Pick that mountain up, put it in your pocket, carry it away. You know what I'm saying? Right? This is us versus them read. Doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of them, right? Yeah, we're taking action, and so we're really taking action to heal. Okay, we're taking action to heal, but to have the ability also to heal others and teach them these same things that we have learned now. Okay. And so we know how to walk on water. We know how to navigate on the water. We know how to always go from one place to the other and make that trip safely, And we have the intellect right now and the ability to teach that to the masses, And so we're delivering a gift right here with the knowledge that is in these 6 swords. And so this is a big responsibility for us as the chosen ones. And that's 6, 7, 8 right there, guys. And so good work. Let God lead, guide, and direct you always. And that's what we know now, and we always will, and we're never going to forget that moving forward, because when we do, we act out and those waters get too damn crazy. And even when the waters are super crazy, even if you know how to walk on water, if you're not behaving right and that water comes up so rough, that shit could still swallow you up, And so what we've learned now is to not try to put our trust into how we move on the water. And so as soon as that guy jumped off the boat and tried to grab Jesus, as soon as he realized that he was walking on water, he didn't trust himself. He didn't trust himself to be able to do that anymore. And then so he couldn't trust God to do that no more, and God couldn't hold him up. We got to trust God to let God hold us up. And that's what the trick is. That's the golden ticket. That's that Ace of Pentacles to ride that boat. Oh, I told you the fire is going to try to burn me up. See? I felt it getting hot, but I was like, wait a minute, it ain't July. Woo! Hot. Yeah, it's always a little bit of fun out here. That's kind of how it happened with my chainsaw, because I was out here working, and actually it already did that once through the area I had been working on, but it doesn't get this, there's like this finer, see this stuff, it's like real wet. It's like the little leaves on top will burn, but this stuff's real wet. Well, it already had gone through like that, and so all the leaves on top had burned up. But then so I thought it was safe because it all looked burned, But then that stuff underneath that was wet, it dried out, and it was doing it again. It did it again, And so it kind of surprised me. I thought I'd put it in a safe spot because it looked like it all been burned up already, But then there was that dander underneath it that got me, It's easier to move through life, and into safe passage and all that fun stuff when we got that lighter load, right? A little bit lighter load. You don't need everything on that boat, right? Anyways, that's a pretty good read. I'm gonna leave it right there. I gotta find my smoke, and I gotta find my lighter and everything. I gotta reorganize. It's about to burn myself up, guys. Just kidding. we got the strength card here. And that strength card is, again, this is an us versus them reading, right? So this is us and them. And that strength card right there is telling us to use wisdom instead of force, right now. Be trusting God, let God help lead, guide, and direct you. And we can tame this beast, like I keep saying, but we have to just realize that the beast and us are all one and the same, you know, and that's what we really have to realize right now, because like ultimately we the people have the power and control in our hands, so as do you have the power and control in your hands in your life, and how your life is to progress and how your life is supposed to be. And so it's you who has that opportunity to control everything that is around you in that sense, you know. And so it's like once you realize that you're both the tamer and the lion, then you realize how much control you have over your own destiny, you know, true manifest destiny, you know. And that's the individual pursuit of manifest destiny. But we need to do that collectively and learn how to do that collectively. Like we all need to have a collective vision right now. That's something aside from chasing after the spoils of victory that they offer us after all of these spiritual battles, because they're sucking us dry, you know. And that's what it's all about right now. We have to really start to look at the fact that their coin has our spiritual value in it. That's the only thing that gives it value, is when they get us to invest in it with our faith. But when we invest into ourselves and our relationship with the divine one and the strength card, right, we don't need their coin for nothing. We could never be broke, you know. We're not broke, and that's the truth. And that's the force that they use over us right now to keep us bound, right, in this energy, where they think that because like we're right now passively engaging with the system that's trying to control us, you know, where we're the lion and we should be roaring like a lion and getting out there in the right way and proving to them why we're the king of the jungle, you know, as we the people. Okay, because that's the problem right now, is that the controller has pacified us. We've been pacified, and their ability to feed us, you know, that's how you tame a beast, you know. That's how they did it, is they put us in cages, and they locked the door, and they made our teeth dull, and they made our claws dull, and they made our senses dull, and they just kept feeding us fucking chicken, and then we never noticed the difference if it was gazelle or not, you know. And we just got kind of used to the idea that we didn't have to chase it down. It was just brought to us, you know. And so we're like, well, why should we ever stand up against these ones right here? It's because you're not free anymore, you know. That's why. There's no other reason why. You don't even have to ask why. Do you want to be free, or do you want to be a slave? You know. We're human beings. We're not lions. It's very different. But look how it treated look what happened to the lion population, you guys, when they allowed themselves to be tamed, you know. And so we got to stop this right here and step into our higher calling, tame ourselves as our higher selves, ascend, and then help others set themselves free from this system, from them, because this is us versus them, and they have everybody under spells that keep them asleep and unaware, drugged, confused, blind, hungry, selfish, impossible, it seems like, right, at times. Well, we're going to need each other. They're going to make certain of that, because they think that we despise and loathe each other so much because they've actually been feeding us to each other. That's how this tamer feeds their beast, you know. And so they think we've gotten accustomed to that flavor of eating each other, that when they force us to by making the shelves empty, that we're going to think that stuff tastes pretty good, right? Yeah. Page Pentacles in the reverse. So when they decide to make everybody go broke, they think we're going to eat each other's faces. That's their zombie apocalypse, you know. And so pay attention. That's us versus them, you guys. God's telling you to be strong right now. God's telling you to love yourself right now. God's telling you to love your neighbor right now, you know, is what God's trying to tell us all right now. And first start with loving ourselves. It's going to make a lot of sense why we would love our neighbor, and why our neighbor loves us, and that gives us more reason to love ourselves when we all need each other. And that's what's gonna be fucking, that's what's changing. So I got that one flipped over, but that's the fucking bullshit, you know. Anyhow, you guys, peace. Good read. It's been good reads, you know. I've been digging it. Thank you all for joining me, and we'll do another one here. I'll probably do an evening read. I kind of like this format of like morning, afternoons, like lunchtime, and then I could do like an evening read, maybe when I get home or whatever, you know. And so anyhow, we'll see. Peace out.